Gaming has a plague. Just like the pandemic that hit the world in late 2019 and brought it to its knees, gaming is experiencing its own crushing illness. An illness that is contagious, spreads easily, and highly destructive. This illness being microtransaction paywalls and corporations making you think it's absolutely completely normal to pay to have fun. What's up, guys? I'm Sir Stubby, a nobleman on a quest to try to draw attention to the fact that gaming's not the same as you remember it. I just want to draw attention to the fact that we don't have that childish awe and amazement we had when we turned on a game when we were little. And it's not because we got older. It's because the joy you felt playing it is in fact now a package deal to you. It's sold to you in snippets and in chunks and in different skins and different camos. Our love of gaming that we grew up and kept bringing us back to gaming is now just marketing campaigns for companies like EA and Activision to package the fun. And that's what this video is about, drawing attention to that. All right, I'm going to paint a picture for you guys. I want you guys to follow Sir Stubby on this journey through the mind. Imagine you go to a store. It's your favorite store, the best store you know. And you're in the bakery section, and you're about to buy bread. You need bread. You walk over to the area where they keep the loaves of bread. And there, where the loaves of bread used to be, is only the heels of the bread. You know, the ends, the parts that nobody really wants to eat. So you go over to the baker, and he's a nice man with a big old mustache, and he's kind of chubby. And you say, "Hey, Mr. Baker guy, where's the loaves of bread? There's only heels here." And that nice baker all of a sudden turns to you with a sinister grin, and his mustache is now menacing, and he's no longer fat, he's just evil. And the baker goes, "If you want the middle parts, you're going to have to buy each individual slice separate from the heels." It's safe to say, you being the noble man and or woman you are, would think this is stupid, and you wouldn't buy the bread, because why would you buy the bread in individual slices? You want the whole loaf. But that's what we gamers are doing now. We are buying heels of the bread instead of the entire loaf of bread. We get unfinished products or early products, and then we get none of the substance in the middle. So we get to make a crappy sandwich with our gaming, is what I'm trying to say. Let's take Diablo Immortal, for instance. A game that's relatively new. Well, it's basically brand new. And is free to play. But you have to pay for every single actual thing you would want in a game. Especially in a game like Diablo. Right? You want good gear? Give us money. You want to level your gear? Give us money. You want to max out your gear? Give us money. You want to ascend that gear to an even higher level so you could be at the absolute best peak performance you can be for end game content? This one's simple. Don't overthink it. Give us money. Diablo Immortal has made in its first 2 weeks of release, with all the negative press, all the gamer outrage, and all the media coverage of how overly microtransaction this game is filled and how paywalled it is, a total of $24 million. $24 million has been made by a game that is literally trying to rip you off by making you pay to have fun, pay to level up, and pay to grind your own gear. It's already a grindy game just to add. Now you're adding, I have to go to work in order to beat your game. Now you might say, "Sir Stubby, that's not a lot of money." And to you, I would say, you're wrong. $24 million in 2 weeks is a lot of money because it's not made for you or me, you naive noble. It's not your fault. We've been trained and worked through and kind of brainwashed in a way where we think that is normal, like that companies are making this much money off of something like Diablo Immortal. They make it for not you or me, they make it for the wealthy, or as they like to call them, the whales, a small minority of players that pay the majority of the money. So these wealthy players, or sadly the not able to control themselves players, because there are people that are just addicted and will blow thousands of dollars and remortgage their house just to play this game, will spend the most to get to the end of the journey of a game rather than play. These players then are allowing corporations to make more junk like Diablo Immortal to sell you more things. And it's only a matter of time before every franchise we love and cherish becomes like Diablo Immortal. We already have Halo Infinite with its absolutely crazy paywalls. Now you got Diablo, and then you have Overwatch 2, which is literally selling you Overwatch 1 with a different filter, an Instagram filter on it. So it's not like it's not spreading. It is spreading, and it's because of a small minority of wealthy players and or unable to control themselves players deciding the fate of the majority of players. Like a sickness, this spreads from game to game, from dev to dev, and publisher to publisher. These microtransactions have breached your multiplayer games in the forms of skins, emotes, battle passes, as well as loot boxes, and even into your single-player games where they sell you season passes and sometimes battle passes, and even have loot box systems in a single-player game where you're not even playing with other players, where you see a cool skin and go, oh, that's only $10, that's not that bad. I, Sir Stubby, see content that was cut out to sell back to you. If they had time to make that cool skin, then they had time to make you a cool skin to earn in the game. And sadly, that's not the case in gaming anymore. Now, we should probably establish that I, Sir Stubby, am not opposed to all DLC. As long as it's actually extra content, whether it be more quests in a game, a new region, or an entirely new kind of character to go with. Grand Theft Auto, the older ones, released entire DLCs based around an entirely new character, and The Witcher 3's DLCs are widely considered some of the best DLCs to ever be released. I am not also opposed to buying a skin. If you really enjoy a free-to-play game like Fortnite or Warzone, then feel free to throw some money into a skin. What I am opposed to is games like Diablo, where the whole premise of the game is to find better gear, better loot, locking all the better gear and better loot behind a paywall. Sure, you can play for free, but you will not be able to be as good as your friend who spent $5 or $10 or the guy who spent $1,000. You are stuck where you are. There is no ability to earn past that. And if there is, you can also look into the fact that Diablo has literally made it so you can't get any farther, whether it be through a allotted amount of times you can get a certain amount of drops, to you're only allowed to do a certain amount of activities in a day if you haven't paid money. There is ways that they're locking you out of content that requires you to be able to pay in order to unlock that content. And that's the DLCs we're specifically talking about in this video. Now, should we gamers expect every game to be a masterpiece and absolutely 10 out of 10 every time? No, that's not realistic. But what we can expect as gamers is when we purchase a product, that we get a product, not a trial. And most games are releasing in these unfinished live services where the game is barely playable upon release. And yes, I'm looking you dead in your eyes, Battlefield 2042, and charging you upwards of $140 for the super ultra rare, amazing, super cool, comes with an album that you're never going to listen to version of the game, to not even be in working condition upon release. You follow that up with the fact that these games come with a battle pass already there, a store for buying skins already there, time savers so you can get faster through the game, and in-game currencies that are only useful in that specific game and does not carry over to any other game. You start to see where game companies are putting their time and effort. Now, I, Sir Stubby, I'm pretty well adventured. I'm a seasoned adventurer, guys, and have been around for a few years. But I was lucky enough to have played Halo when it introduced armor customization. Armor customization that you could earn through in-game accomplishments and goals. And I remember being a little noble, sitting in my castle, playing Halo, and I saw him from across the map. The Spartan decked out in all the best armor. And let me tell you, immediately, I knew this person was good. They put their time in and the effort to work through all those challenges to get that armor. Nowadays, I could just go buy it. I could go buy the skin of a pro player. A guy whose job is literally to play video games and practices 8 hours a day. I can just go buy it. They have taken the individuality out of gaming. Everyone looks the same. It uses the same class, the same gun, the same everything. It's just buy the newest skin, buy the newest gun, and buy the newest perks. In case you miss out, you have FOMO. They even have taken away your ability to distinguish yourself through your skill level. Anyone who's ever played Call of Duty knows that Call of Duty releases blueprints in the store. And those guns are always the meta. Why? Because they're always released broken. They are never not broken. So gamers have found in games like Call of Duty, they would deliberately put you in games with people who have bought that blueprint. That way, the gun is so broken that you get tired of losing to said gun and just go buy it. And now the tables have turned and you get to feel good while you literally ruin everyone else's night for not buying the gun, for a few games or until they patch it. But don't worry, when they patch it, they will release a new blueprint that is just as broken and rinse, cycle, repeat. And now you're buying a new blueprint every couple days. This paired with skill-based matchmaking, and you start to see a pattern of gaming companies starting to manipulate you into opening your wallet and just giving them a couple dollars so you can enjoy your night. The microtransaction plague has tarnished, no, absolutely atomized any thrill from earning a skin or a weapon camo from completing in-game challenges, because all the cool ones, all the ones you want to have, cost you money. So what do we have to do? That's the real question here. How do we fix the problem at hand? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. It's simple. We vote with our wallet. If you and me and all other gamers stop playing these dumpster fire microtransaction gotcha games like Diablo Immortal and stop paying into microtransactions like FIFA's Ultimate Team, then game companies would be forced to acknowledge the fact that we don't want it. We don't want heels of the bread to be sold to middle and individual slices. It's as easy as that. Don't buy an unpolished turd. Force the company to polish it, then give it to you. Games used to release as a finished product. When you went to the store, you bought an actual product, you brought it home, you put it in your system, and you played it. And the game was either good or was bad, but every game company had to strive to make a good game. They didn't have this ability to do live services where they could release you, here's the first 3 missions, I'll give you the next 20 in 3 months, and if the game actually isn't successful, we won't give it to you at all. We'll just shut down the servers and move on with our day. A lot of games release like that where they say, like, look at Anthem, that was supposed to be this massive project, right? It's supposed to go on for years. That game released in such a crap stage and it had all these walls you would hit, and you had to buy things, and all your armor looked the same unless you paid for different armor, and then the armor that you paid for was just garbage. That game's dead. It died. Not everyone can pull a No Man's Sky and just come back from the ashes. Most games will die. And if we don't stand up and vote with our wallet, then all the games will die. Let's not buy unpolished turds. Let's force them to polish them first. Now, I've been your host, Sir Stubby, a noble man on a quest just to bring back gaming of old. All I want is every generation to experience the joy I had growing up, where when you bought a game, the game was a game. It came polished, and it didn't sell you the fun in its subscription or DLC. If you enjoyed the content, please hit that like button. Maybe consider subscribing, as well as you can always start a conversation down in the comments about how to fix gaming, or any other topic, really. Until next time, I have castle wallets to patrol, because I'm sure I pissed off some companies. Bye.